Coming up on Bridgewater this week,
I don't think Bridgewater would be what it is without BTV.
we celebrate 25 years of community media.
I knew I had to do something to give back.
Residents run for the marathon bombing victims, and the Raynwater players dazzle in their production of West Side Story. These stories and more just ahead. Your local news starts now.
Welcome to Bridgewater This Week. I'm Jeff Fowler.
And I'm Alicia Fortin. Thank you for joining us on this May 24th edition of the program.
It's been a very special year for us here at BTV. If you have not heard yet, this is our 25th year in operation.
And on May 10th, we unfolded the red carpet and celebrated with a bit of glitz and glamour.
The night began with reunions, as many as our past and present volunteers were in attendance.
We also collaborated with photography students from the university on a fun photo booth.
And capped off the evening with a look at the past 25 years. You may have caught the on-air segment already. If you missed it, here's a quick look.
I don't think Bridgewater would be what it is without BTV.
And Bridgewater Television wouldn't be what it is today without its diverse family.
And that's the way it is.
It's the people that come in, they spend the long hours, they stand in the rain. Those are the people we have to say thank you to.
And I feel that us here in Bridgewater have something very unique and special.
For 25 years, BTV, once known as Cable 8, has been a creative outlet, a community forum, an informational gateway.
I never thought I wanted to learn so much.
It's like you're having a conversation with your friends over time, and you can be free and open with what your discourse was.
At BTV, people realized their potential.
I said, okay, I'm going to dive in. So I did.
Found their strengths.
When you work at a cable access station, you can kind of dig into all areas of production.
And zeroed in on their futures.
I found myself hosting all around the world.
I'd say it was a good stepping stone.
This is how it all began.
So much went into that documentary, and we here at BTV really want to thank our board of directors, our interns, Shannon Lynch, Scott Olson, Morgan Goby, Jackie Frazier, Leah Story, Stephanie DiLorenzo, and Jason Kimball for helping us on production and promoting the event. Remember, we are always looking for volunteers to assist with programming, and for more information, you can call the studio at 508-697-1833. Switching gears now, the local community came together for another important cause on May 19th.
That's right. Residents banded together to honor those affected by the Boston Marathon bombings. Scott Olson and Jim Polk caught out the action over at the Regional.
On Sunday, May 19th, BR for Boston was held at the Bridgewater Raynham High School. A 5K run to support the One Fund Boston. People from all over the local region came out to support the cause. Students in Miss Arrigi's sociology class held the event, and after the race, we spoke to them about the day.
Yeah, today was our sociology project that we have been organizing for the past month. We decided that we wanted to give back to the community and also hopefully get an A. So we decided to organize this race in hopes of raising money and also getting an A.
Based on the number of registrations alone, BR for Boston was a resounding success.
We had about 300 people registered in total, and 207 of those were registered online before.
Event organizers wanted to give thanks to the runners and the community.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
much.
Everyone did a really good job, and we really appreciate all the support.
And all the volunteers and the adults that helped us.
And we'd like to thank, the Bridgewater and Raynham communities. We had just an outpouring of support. So many people,
Especially
came out today.
The police and fire did a phenomenal job for us.
The teachers that came out, we had several teachers from all over the school systems, Bridgewater and Raynham. There were people that came from other towns that, signed up on racewire.com, and we just can't be more grateful, and we so appreciate all the support.
And in terms of what the students will receive for a grade on this project?
And I'm sure they're all going to get an A. I'm sure they're all going to get an A.
Reporting from the high school, I'm Scott Olson. Back to you.
Parents are rallying to keep Southbrook Academy open for the remainder of the academic year. A decrease in enrollment has led the school to face some financial difficulties, and published reports say parents are investigating the possibility of changing the school to nonprofit status.
But it is important to note that these tough times have not hindered the school's ability to teach in any way. Scott Olson was on hand to cover some of the good things happening in the Southbrook community.
Southbrook Academy was filled with patriotism and state pride a few weeks ago when they held their annual state fair. Posters representing every state in the union filled the school, with students sharing their knowledge of their assigned states. Several students eagerly discussed their findings with us.
This is the state flag. The nickname is the Lone Star State. The word Texas comes from the word Tegans. The Dallas Cowboys is the football team. Barbecues and rodeos are a tradition in Texas too. And my state is New Mexico, and the nickname is the Land of Enchantment. The state dog is the Shar-Pei. The state flower is the yucca flower. The state bird is the roadrunner. The state food is chili.
These are some interesting facts about Maryland. One of the interesting facts are the first school in the United States was opened in 1696 in Maryland. Did you guys know that?
Familiar tunes rang out at Southbrook Academy last week in celebration of Cinco de Mayo. Students sampled Mexican cuisine and played traditional games like musical chairs, ring toss, and Zumba, among others. In all of this celebration, the little-known history of this storied holiday was not lost. Several students dressed as important figures in history went around the school sharing the story of Cinco de Mayo.
Bonjour, je m'appelle François. Or hello, my name is Francis.
Hola, me llamo Roberto.
Hola, me llamo Ignacio Zaragoza.
Hola, me llamo Benito Juarez.
Me and the French army, because I am a French soldier. You can boo me if you want to. Boo. Gamers out. So me and my French army wanted to invade Mexico, but we couldn't do it without finding an opportunity. We found that opportunity when the President of Mexico, which was Benito Juarez, didn't pay us our taxes. When we got there, we chased the Mexican army around until we got to the town of Puebla.
In the town of Puebla, the French army chased the Mexicans up a hill. When they tried to get up the hill to attack the Mexican army, they couldn't because of the poor weather. So eventually Mexico made the French retreat, and when they did, Mexico felt pride for their country.
Most of the Mexican soldiers in the army were the normal day people and farmers. And I'm proud of them because that they risked their life and traded their everyday normal lives to fight for the Mexico country.
The reason Mexico didn't pay France was because we didn't have enough money. I'm proud of the army because even though they were poor, they wanted to protect their country and they wanted their freedom.
Students having fun, yet learning something along the way, Southbrook's Cinco de Mayo celebrations were a win-win for everybody. Reporting from Southbrook Academy, I'm Scott Olson. Back to you.
Students at Bridgewater State University are preparing youngsters for the MCAS.
Throughout the semester, education majors have been helping elementary students with their studies. Here's more from organizers Nancy Kirk and Bob Sylvester.
Well, we used to work with students, pupils from the Bridgewater district at the laboratory school at Brunel building. But that was, a few years ago, it was turned over to the city, or from the city to the university. And we then were in search of another partner. And this school was opened, I think, just 1 or 2 years before we came by. Right. And reverted to a 4, 5, and 6 building. And so I asked what kinds of needs the school had, because our interest is to find ways to use the resources of our teacher candidates who are in their senior year before they go out student teaching to see if they can help the school. And then in the course of that, to try to give them some experience before they go out student teaching, working with kids directly.
And we have so many of their student teachers coming into the building that this was a great opportunity to have the students here and hopefully want to be in this building to student teach. This program has helped us with open response in not only English but also in math. Last year was math.
And previously we had worked in science in the 6th grade and also in math in the 6th grade, but the 4th grade population seemed to be both highly receptive and given that developmental state, that's the good time to start practicing. In fact, we have some test results from 2 springs ago, that indicate that this population that we work with has significantly higher open response math scores than the rest of the population. So there's some evidence that what we do actually has benefit.
It does have benefit.
We hope so. But it's a good chance for the teachers also to have a chance not only to work with student teachers, and we have some student teachers who came and worked here, but also a chance to act as mentors to students, candidates before they go out student teaching. And that's really helpful for us because it's one thing to say or describe what happens in a classroom, but it's another thing to hear it from a practitioner.
Right. And you've got a great group of teachers working
we
with
have
you.
2 teams who are working with, and they're really outstanding teachers and good exemplars for my candidates.
Mitchell students are going straight to the Wild Wild West thanks to a traveling history exhibit.
A few weeks ago, the Hanson Children's Museum paid a visit to the Mitchell Elementary School. When visiting the school, the museum displayed their Wild Wild West exhibit to students. The museum's exhibits are designed to allow active play by children, sparking their creative learning process. The museum travels to local libraries and schools with the eventual thought of acquiring their own facility. With the mission of cherishing America's memories through exploration and discovery, the Hanson Children's Museum paves the way for future academic success and ensuring the legacy of the United States. Reporting from the Mitchell School, I'm Scott Olson. Back to you.
Well, it looks like a great opportunity for the students. And now this next story is one for the Mitchell history books. Principal Brian Lynch has been named the Massachusetts Teacher of the Year.
That means a great deal to me. I'm honored by the award. I'm humbled by the award. It came from a nomination from the faculty, and it was returned to them when I received the award. I rededicated the award to them when I received it down the Cape on May 1st and told them that I wouldn't be where I am without them.
The rigorous selection process is undertaken every year by the Massachusetts Elementary Schools Principals Association.
And it's a well-deserved honor. Since Mr. Lynch has come to the Mitchell School, MCAS scores have soared, several new programs have been introduced, and the school is the only one in the BR district to be designated a Level 1 based on the state's standards.
Mr. Ed O'Donoghue brought me here in 1994. I've been in the district ever since. It's become a part of me. Hopefully I've become a part of it. The children in this town are very important to me. The future of this town is very important to me, and I take my job very seriously.
In this next story, Roland Krashidian-Zada tells us about one of the innovative ways the Mitchell School is teaching students about whales.
This is Roland Krashidian-Zada. Second graders at the Mitchell School had fun learning about whales when Nancy Benton of the New Bedford Whaling Museum gave an exciting presentation.
What I can tell you about the New Bedford Whaling Museum is it is a wonderful place to come if you are interested in whales and whaling. And we know that the second graders at the Mitchell Elementary School, every spring, they have a unit about whales and whaling. They do in their social studies classes as well. And they're coming to the New Bedford Whaling Museum in the middle of May, and the name of their tour is Learning About Whales. So today, I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation in which I introduce them to some of the attractions and some of the things that they'll be doing at the New Bedford Whaling Museum, and also giving them an introduction to learning about whales. And I was a teacher at the Mitchell Elementary School. We did a unit about whales, and when I retired, I knew that that is what I wanted to continue to learn about. So I took the dosing course down at the New Bedford Whaling Museum for 3 months and became a volunteer.
Nancy Benton also taught Bridgewater this week something about whales.
In the middle 1800s, it was the golden age of whaling. It was the time before we had electricity, and the whalemen went out in search of whales so that they were able to get the blubber from the whales and boil it down and render the oil which provided the best light of the day.
This May, the Raynwater Players brought the timeless musical West Side Story to life. The sellout performances captured the hearts of many watching the tragic story unfold. Take a look.
When you're a jet, all the way from your first cigarette till your last dying day. When you're a jet, if the spit hits the fan, you got brothers around, you're a family man.
Tonight, tonight, there's only you tonight. What you do, what you say.
Today, all day, I had the feeling a miracle would happen. I know now I was right.
Life can be bright in America.
If you can fight in America,
Life is all right in America.
if it all white in America.
Well, that was a great performance by all involved, including BTV's own Jason Pritchard, who performed in the pit.
Absolutely. And now it's time to talk about another important honor that's going on in town. Chief Rogers has sure gotten a lot of accolades during his tenure here in Bridgewater.
And now he has a new title, President of the Fire Chiefs Association of Massachusetts. He succeeds the Fire Chief of Watertown, and congratulations to Chief Rogers on his new role.
When we return, 3 residents take their seat at the council table.
And residents bait their lines for a friendly competition. We'll be right back.
Look around you. 1 in 4 kids in the U.S. faces hunger. It's not always easy to see the signs, but in this land of plenty, there are kids that don't know where they will get their next meal. Join Share Our Strength. You can take the pledge to end childhood hunger here in America by 2015. Learn how at NoKidHungry.org. Their next meal could come from you.
Never look a howler monkey in the eye. Fried ants are delicious. We finished a clinic in a rainstorm. Really? My students actually ended up teaching me. In la keg, a la king. Think managing a sales team is tough. Try working with 5 different villages. After 2 months, I was ready to quit, but after 2 years, I didn't want to leave. I didn't know I had it in me.
Turn 2 years of service into a lifetime of experience. To all the Peace Corps volunteers, past, present, and future, thank you for your service to your country and the world.
April 26th was Arbor Day, and students in the Williams and Southbrook schools took some time to learn about this important holiday. The Williams Intermediate School had Ann Wood from the Bridgewater Garden Club tell students what Arbor Day is all about. The middle schoolers received trees to cap off the Williams School Arbor Day celebrations. The Bridgewater Garden Club donated trees that were handed out to students at the Southbrook School. Along with knowledge of the holiday, students at the Southbrook School were also taught how to care for the trees they were about to obtain.
I would recommend that for the first year, of this little tree's life, that you plant it in a pot. And see the size of my pot? So don't go home and find a pot that's about this big and go, yeah, but it's only little teeny, because it won't be big enough.
Students at both schools were eager to learn about Arbor Day and help the planet. This might not have been possible without the cooperation between the schools and local organizations. Partnerships like those on Arbor Day give students a different perspective on issues concerning the world today. Hopefully, this and events like this will shape students into responsible adults and make the world a better place for all. Reporting from Bridgewater, I'm Scott Olson. Back to you.
Thank you, Scott. Certainly been a busy week for Scott
I
here,
think
huh?
so. He's taken the place over. Fair enough. Well, I also want to thank the Gillis family who teamed up with Scott to tape the annual Bridgewater Lions Club Fishing Derby, which took place at Skeeter Mill Pond on May 4th. And Scott's back in now with the story.
Club officials offered their gratitude to the state, outlining the event's mission in the process.
Obviously, we are very grateful for the supply of fish. We were buying them every year and having them put in, so it's helped us tremendously.
And we've been doing this just for the kids to be outside. And so I'm so glad the state stepped forward to help us out with this.
Between 150 and 200 children were expected to enjoy fishing on a picture-perfect Saturday afternoon. The long-standing memories and impact of this event are apparent to the organizers each year.
There's not a year that's gone by, there's one good one right there, that people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s haven't stopped and said, Dave or Mr. Flynn, I can remember fishing these derbies. Now they're here with their grandkids, and it's really something to see and behold. Not a year's gone by that they don't mention they were here.
Look at them, Joe.
With support from state and local officials, the Lions Club Fishing Derby will allow children of all ages to go outside, make some memories, and experience nature for many more years to come. Organizer Dave Flynn wanted to give BTV thanks for running the story.
Yeah, thank you
You've
very
always
much.
been here, Jeff. Thank you, and include that in your broadcast.
Scott Olson reporting from Bridgewater. Back to you.
The Bridgewater Town Council is saying thank you to two longtime public servants. May 7th marked the last council meeting for Michael Barolini and Paul Sullivan.
It has been my honor and privilege to represent all of the people in Bridgewater and all the people in our community over the last several years. With almost 15 years of volunteering for our community, it has been quite a ride, with many highs and many lows along the way, but it was an extraordinary experience.
The only thing I'd suggest to the remaining members of the board and to the newly elected members of the board, treat your fellow board members and everybody you come in contact with professionalism and respect for them, their knowledge, and their authority.
Bill Rivers, Kevin Perry, and John Norris began their council duties on May 21st.
Well, summer is just about here, which means longer days, barbecues, and of course, that dreaded Cape Cod traffic.
This is true. And in this next report, Scott Olson tells us about an option that may make your commute to the beach a little easier.
Starting Memorial Day weekend, the MBTA will begin its Cape Flyer rail service. This weekend commuter rail service to the Cape will be the first in almost 25 years. Trains will depart South Station on Friday evenings and Saturday and Sunday mornings. Trains will arrive back in Boston during the evenings. Hyannis-bound trains will not stop in Bridgewater, however, they will stop in nearby Middleborough. Round-trip tickets from Middleborough to Hyannis are just $15.
And for more information, you can visit capeflyer.com or visit your local MBTA ticket agency.
And for more info on sports, let's turn it now over to John Locke.
Bridgewater State was projected to finish their baseball, lacrosse, and softball seasons as conference champions, starting off with the baseball team, who finished the season at 6-4. The Bears would take on Worcester State in the first round. Worcester State got the win in 11 innings, 8-7. BSU had a 7-6 lead going into the bottom of the 11th inning. That is until Dennis Duplessis sent a 2-run single off into left field off of relief pitcher Jake Roderick. Bears star Patrick Martin went the first 8 2/3, allowing 5 earned on 14 hits while walking 5 and striking out 5. The season does end for Bridgewater State as they went 19-14-1. The BSU softball squad changed coaches just 8 games into the season and a 3-5 start. Through the month of April, they went 15-7, and their pitching was a big reason why, allowing just 41 runs and shutting out the opposition 11 times. In the MASCAC tournament, they went up against Fitchburg State in the second round and beat the Falcons 3-2. Megan Dunn got the start, going 5 innings, allowing an earned run on 4 hits while walking 1 and striking out 2. The next round of the double elimination tournament, the Lady Bears took on MCLA and dropped the 2-1 decision. Amber White got the start, going 7 innings, allowing 4 hits and striking out 12. The 2 Trailblazer runs came on a pair of BSU errors. Bridgewater State is now in a must-win mentality going into an elimination game against Fitchburg State again, and BSU got the victory again 6-2. Melissa Harvin had 2 RBI to help Bridgewater State advance to the MASCAC Championship against MCLA, and this time the Bears got the victory 2-0. Amber White got the start, going 7 shutdown innings, allowing only 2 hits while striking out 3. BSU won the second game 2-1, sending them to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2009. The Lady Bears would lose Game 1 of the double elimination tournament again to Babson, setting them up for a matchup with Husson, and the Bears would lose that one 1-0. Although Megan Dunn allowed only 1 hit, that was all the opposition needed, as Bridgewater State left 7 runners on base, eliminating Bridgewater State from the NCAA tournament for 2013. The lacrosse team at Bridgewater State University lost only twice in the regular season. That dominance would help them get the #1 seed in the inaugural MASCAC Women's Lacrosse Tournament. They defeated Fitchburg State in the semifinals 21-5, making the championship game Bridgewater State versus Westfield State. BSU would get the 13-10 victory, earning the Bears' first MASCAC Lacrosse Championship and an automatic berth into the NCAAs against Bowdoin. And that's where the good times ended, as Bridgewater State would get steamrolled by eventual Elite 8 participant 16-1. Now that the college has wrapped up their season, it's time to focus on the Trojans baseball and softball squad, starting off with the softball team, who currently sit at #1 in the Boston.com Top 20. Now, I'm a numbers guy and a stats guy, so I could report on the numerous blowouts by this team, but I'll just let the stats tell the story. Lady Trojans had defeated their opponents by a combined score of 164-10. Maddie Shaw leads the team with a .649 average, while Chelsea Carrera has a .552 batting average. And how about the pitching stats? Now, these are actual stats, not exaggerated or anything like that. Sarah Dawson, has thrown 104 innings with a no-hitter, 126 strikeouts, 9 shutouts, a 17-0 record, and an ERA of 0.47. As the softball team continues to mow down teams across the Bay State, the baseball team sits at #10 in the top 20 with a 15-4 record through May 23rd. Andrew Noviello threw against Marshfield and Falmouth on the 22nd and 16th respectively, striking out a combined 30 batters. And the dominant pitching doesn't stop there, as the Trojans took on the Brockton Boxers at Campanelli Stadium. It was a crazy 5th inning for the BR Trojans and the Brockton Boxers as we kick things off in the top of the 5th. Dave Miller sends this one down the left field line. Left fielder cannot hold on to it, and all of a sudden the ball randomly goes through left field. Both runners would be sent back, however, 1 run would score, making it a 5-0 game, Trojans on top. The story of this one, however, was Mike Brumell, the Trojan starting pitcher, going 6 innings while striking out 10 batters, including striking out the side in the 5th inning. BR goes on to win this one 6-0 at Campanelli. That's sports for this week. I'm John Luck.
That's all the time we have for you this week.
We hope you'll join us on our next edition of the program. I'm Alicia Fortin.
And I'm Jeff Fowler. Thanks for watching.